Forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Another day above ground, I see. I'm focusing on the positives, because yesterday I was down. People do me wrong, but it's love in the heart. When they try to take me for clown, I do them no wrong. Jaja have we back, and I shouting, oh Lord, I'm thankful, oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you who give me health and strength. Oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you give me the handful. Every day you're blessing me. Only it and back and on. It's nothing we nature. Money in we pocket. This life I want love it. Only it and back and on. It's nothing we nature. Food on we table. I could not think I jump up and wait. I'm thankful for life, to see another sunrise. But to one up in the air. All the stress on your mind, put them problems aside and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. Another day above ground, I say, thank you, Father. I'm focusing on the positives, cause yesterday I was down, today I feel strong. Yes, His love in the heart. Dirty up my name around tongue, I do them no wrong. Jaja have we back, and I shouting, oh Lord, I'm thankful, oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you who give me health and strength. Oh Lord, I'm thankful. It's you give me the handful. Every day you're blessing me. and bacchanal. It's nothing we nature, money in we pocket. This life I want love it, always and bacchanal. It's nothing we nature, food on we table, a good than I ever. We can jump up and wave. I thankful for life, to see another sunrise. Me to one up in the air. All the stress on your mind, put them problems aside and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. I'm thankful, but be mindful. I'm so grateful.
It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Another day above ground, I see.
Another day above ground.
The positives,
I
because
tell you, that is so much to be thankful for.
we're wrong.
If there's nothing else that you
When they try to
pay
take
attention to today, recognize that you have the gift of life. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. How are you people doing this morning? Neighbors in the Caribbean, good day to you. And of course, our friends and family who are streaming all around the globe, different time zones and
this, you give me the handful.
spaces. Good day to you. And of course, thank you so much
It's nothing we need.
for choosing us each and every day, for being here with us.
This life I want love it, always on bacchanal. It's nothing we need, yeah. Food on with
Welcome everybody to New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. So good to be in your company.
another sunrise.
Another beautiful day. As always, I want to say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day.
Problems aside
And all that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles.
for another day. Don't forget
Checking in, and of course, happy am I to be in this space with you
yeah.
as we welcome everybody
Don't forget to pray.
to the Get Up and Go. This is your breakfast show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Oh yeah, we are here another day above ground. Good morning, everybody, and of course, good morning to Richard, who will join us shortly, and of course, Wendell, who is here very early as always. Wendell, good morning. All right, you check your microphone and make sure you're not muted like Richard.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Morning. Sir Charles, good morning. Richard, good morning. Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. A special good morning to anyone out there who is celebrating a birthday today and an anniversary. Today is actually, I have an anniversary today. It's the anniversary of the death of my father.
Okay.
Yeah, March 10th. My mother was February 11th and he was March 10th.
It's amazing how these things so coincidentally run, eh?
Yeah. You know, but he died many years ago, of course. But let me try to get birthdays before we move on to Charles. I was busy responding to someone this morning who was worried about me. She said that she finds that I'm sounding like on edge. I say, well, no, I have no, absolutely not, you know, but maybe some people pick up things in me that I don't pick up myself, you know. But said I'm sounding on edge. Right. Eric Richards, I know for sure he listens to us. Morning and happy birthday, Eric. Juliet Ramesa, Derlin Gittens, Carla Hutchinson, who else? Sherry Phillip, Trisha Rachel Francis, Vanessa Arlene Ford. She has a children's band. They are all celebrating birthdays today. So happy birthday to them. And anyone else, of course, celebrating a birthday today. Have an absolutely fantastic day.
Yeah. I have a belated birthday greeting to send to Leslie Ann Thompson, a good friend of mine. And I forgot yesterday. I see, sometimes your notifications come up. You say, okay, I'll read it. I'll go and do that.
Mm-hmm.
You get busy, you do so many other things, and then you just forget. So I forgot yesterday, so I want to send out belated birthday greetings to Leslie Ann.
I actually had other greetings for yesterday, but because Zena was yesterday, I know I ain't mixing up Zena with nobody. Sometimes you have to do a special now. You have to have a special and forget everybody else. So that was what I did with Zena yesterday. I didn't consider any other birthday. So if you had a birthday yesterday, well, too bad. You're born the same day with Zena, too bad. But yeah. But listen, it's almost like if every day you wake up, something new has happened in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, no.
That video with that licensing officers, those licensing officers and that young man, because he looks young. He looks kind of pretty young. Yeah. And it's I don't know if it's Chaguanas or South, but it was a green band maxi.
I guess somebody was saying it was on the southern main road in Heerah.
Okay, so then he's heading to maybe Chaguanas or
probably.
Right? Yeah, he's running that route. So you could just see the frustration on that young man. I don't know the TV6 report, which we'll play for you, because kind of gave an idea of what happened prior. That he had pulled over to get a passenger, which maxis do all the time, and I don't like it either. You understand? They just pull suddenly. But the licensing officers apparently told him to pull over more. Maybe they were pulling him over further to give him a ticket because of how he pulled over in the first place, right? Because maxis and licensing officers have a running battle too, right? Anyway, apparently he didn't, and well, based on the TV6 report, they grabbed him out of the maxi. And I'm saying, what? How would reach that far for a traffic stop? But and then I'm hearing on they asking, one of them asking for handcuffs. What exactly? Somebody needs to tell us what exactly are the powers of a licensing officer when they pull you over, because they took his keys for his maxi, and that's what upset him. Maybe it's not even his maxi; he's driving for someone. You know what I mean? But they took his keys and was going with it. So how is... And he is saying, well, listen, I'll meet you all in licensing office. But how? If you can't drive the maxi? It's a crazy story.
Yeah, I saw that video. Well, you shared it. So I looked at it. Yeah, the guy was obviously very frustrated. Mm-hmm. Not to excuse his handling of the matter. But when things escalate on both sides, then there is nobody using their gray matter to de-escalate.
Yeah.
And I think that more rests with the responsibility. I know there was a woman trying to talk him down, but obviously his level of frustration, because he was saying this every time he comes here, he gets a ticket, or they always giving him tickets. So it wasn't his first.
Yes.
And so he was frustrated about it, and obviously he was past the point of caring of how he was reacting. He was beyond that point. His brain wasn't clicking into that reset mode. And of course the licensing officers, I don't know if they were scared. I don't know.
He pick up a piece of iron or something. I think
like the
wheel spanner.
It didn't de-escalate. It just went up, and of course they were aggravating him with the fact that they had his key.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it just blew out of proportion. But I mean, he obviously went past that point, and you as the agency had to realize this person is past that point. Let's de-escalate this, even if we're going to charge him. And of course, he made matters worse by having the physical altercation.
Yes.
With the maxi taxi driver. At least from what you're saying, I mean, it may probably go to court. So to discern what exactly happened, because he was saying, I will meet you all in licensing, and apparently, according to a news report last night, he went to licensing in Carney, and he wanted to speak to the commissioner, and they said, well, that's not the protocol.
I didn't understand that,
Yes, there was a line quoted about protocol for dealing with such situations or something. So, which is kind of
would be the perfect person to intervene in that situation.
Yeah, which is the kind of public speak for supervisor saying, "Me already want to talk to you," Nice public sector speak. I know it well. It's familiar to my ear. So.
But you would have to say that. Nobody can say that for you. You were the top honcho.
It's alright if you do. So if you have to. You gotta see somebody, you gotta see them.
Yeah, but I don't see you refusing to see somebody.
You gotta see them. No, it's possible you can refuse somebody if it's a persistent. They have some persistent people. Let me put you. Public sector is easy, They have some persistent people who may not have all cards aligned, in the particular room. And
the marbles in the ring.
Yeah, they have some people. The public sector has to deal with them, right? But But sometimes you meet some who have, outlandish stories. They want to sue Patrick Manning because he take the mountain. Things like that. And I want $100 million US.
Oh God! Why do we have a way of making people laugh over serious issues? You Richard Lagubasa, you are at fault.
No, but I just saying you have those kinds of people. I don't think this guy is one. No, obviously not. From the context of the situation. But yeah, the protocol for dealing with such guys. I was watching last night and I say, well, that's a clever phrase. But but whatever. But hopefully it's resolved, and hopefully, they put into. In my opinion, the guy needs to be heard because he was obviously on a level of frustration that was beyond rational thinking at that point. He had obviously snapped.
Yes.
He had obviously snapped, and there's a way to deal with situations like that. That licensing officers may not necessarily be trained in. To be fair to them.
But that bunch certainly wasn't, because one of them pelted something at him.
Yeah.
And they were running from him because he had this piece of iron.
Yeah, that's a real dramatic situation.
Yeah, it has to be.
See how it all plays out. Yeah.
If the young man is listening,
good morning to all of the people in the stream. Good morning to our listeners and viewers wherever you are on the planet, and of course, good morning to my co-host.
But if he's just quickly, Richard, if he's listening now, or anyone who knows him has a contact for him, we would love to speak with him. We would love to get exactly what happened. TV6 kind of gave a hint as to what happened, but we would like to hear it from him directly. What happened that day, or anybody who was on the maxi. Because there was the lady who tried to talk him down.
She tried to placate him, but she realized, okay, he was really he had snapped in a sense. He was like, there's a point at which you can snap, and you really don't care at that point, mentally.
Yes,
I don't think I've ever reached. I don't think I've ever reached.
I have reached there.
I've ever reached that point, but maybe I have a very high threshold for. That kind of stuff, but I don't know. So, Charles, you ever snapped?
I think so. A couple of times. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Richard, we just don't care about
I have snapped. Trust me.
Yeah.
And somebody tell me or message me already for the morning and tell me I'm sounding like on edge these days.
Like you're ready to snap.
A snappable right now.
Anyhow, let's do our good news and we will be back, people.
Yes.
That was,
That's a sad good news.
it's a very sad good news, but very pertinent.
Very, very good.
Yeah. So what is happening in the world today? Because you don't know how far all of this is going to reach. There's so many other countries already affected. And yeah, what is war for? The killing of human beings, from criminals to governments. It's just the value. It's kind of like I always puzzle over it. How easy it is to take human life and not be empathetic about it. You hear 400 people die, and okay, it's another part of the world, but it's like 400 people. That's 400 lives of unlimited possibilities.
And to justify taking human life because you don't like how that person living, or you feel that person took somebody's life. That's your justification for taking somebody else's life. One of the headlines today, before going to the chat, is a story about a gentleman who was on charges for murder. And he had an ankle bracelet. 2 hours before he's due to appear in court, he has murdered himself. He is to appear in court 9 o'clock. At 7 a.m., he's murdered that same morning. So somebody decide he is better off dead than going to court and facing whatever the legal system has in store. Somebody feels that he has to die. Boy, I don't know.
And let's greet the people in the chat, Wendell.
Yeah, let's greet them. Suzanne Jessup came in at 11:57 p.m. Of course, Suzette, and Mrs. Gemma, good morning. Felix Kazo says good morning also. Eunice Dublin, you want to wait, Tanya?
Yeah, I had to scroll all the way up.
Okay. Yeah. Eunice Dublin, of course. Robert Allen, Margaret Thomas, Odell Guy from Sangre Grande, Apollonus, Manuela Peters, Beefy Smith, Erica Charles, Diane, and I think that's Diane Payne, Marcia Rock from Orlando, Florida, Doreen Peer, Pamela O'Connor, I think she's from Rio Claro, she said, I'm not sure. Marlon Motley from North Valsain, Debbie Modest, Ila Rizan, that's Nazir Ali, Boy Bidesi from DB, Ava Smith, Sherwin and Juliet Kerr from Arima, Wendy Ann and Frank James from Aranguez.
Juliet and Sherwin.
Kathy Ann Charles and Arlene from Bronxville, Texas. Garvin Frank from Powder Magazine. Ambrose Blah from New York. Scorpion Pepper from, I don't know where she's from. Where you from? Joyce Phillip. Victor Thongs. Carol Guevara from Chaguanas. Shirma Paul. Susie B. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona at 3:35 in the morning. Oh, no, not 3:35, 3:28. Kathy Ann Townsend. Trinidad Margot, James Kamau, Deborah Noel Serret, Carla Hercules, Claire Lendor Rollins, Sankofa from St. Augustine's, Lester Cragwell, Alice Hart from San Fernando, Nicola McNichols, Robert Taylor from Fernandina Beach in Florida, Kenny in Harlem, Chris Tusser from Washington, D.C. It's bright and sunny in Washington. Well, nice, lovely. Helen Prescott, CJ from New York, morning CJ. Valerie
Morning, CJ.
from Bouge Dabadi, Alistair Hart from San Fernando, Trini Merle Kishin from Oshawa, Ontario, Lester Cragwell. Can licensing officers confiscate someone's keys? Yeah, we want to ask that question ourselves. Arlene Lewis, Alistair Hart says people are fed up. You're right, a lot of people are. Michael Robinson from Yokohama, Japan. Hey, Japan, here we come soon enough. Victor Phillip, the whole country fed up all this winning. Sankofa say all in national security have a duty to always avoid escalating situations and de-escalating. The licensing officers ought to be investigated to figure out if it is a pattern. But I've never seen licensing officers in a brawl before. But I won't be surprised if I see traffic wardens, especially ones in St. James, in a brawl one day. Because I see how they talk to people sometimes. Salty Man says, hi, blessed morning, guys, from New Village in Point 14. Morning, Salty Man. Ian Stewart, David McCarthy, Dave Gosine, Sankofa is chatting again. Scorpion Pepper is agreeing with Alistair Hart. Julia Samantha says, good morning. Mrs. R says, oh my God. What is she? What did I do? Or what did Richard do? The oh my God is for Richard. The breath of fresh air is to me. The breath of fresh air is to me. Carla Hercules says, very nice but sad. Well, criminals, I share a different view. Well, who decides who is a criminal? Unless you catch somebody in the act, they're still innocent until proven guilty, you know. Margarita Chow says, good morning. Michael Cadet, Bernadette, and Nelicia Yates. And as this video is playing, it seems CNN reported that the U.S. was responsible for the bombing of the school. Everybody know they are. Well, that's plainly fool. All right, so those are the people on the chat, guys.
All right, so let's say good morning to the people on the WhatsApp coming in. Good morning to Kent in Caranage, Ingrid out there in Arizona, Fifi in Addis Ababa. We have Mahi out in Columbus, Ohio. Captain Ron, who's out in Orlando, Archbishop Ashton Clark. We have all the foreigners inside early out there in Canada. Frank out there in Aruka, good day to you. Zena in Arima, Mr. Billy and the Powder Magazine team, Rena Budu Jennings, people down in the West we're talking about, and also Mr. Beep is down in the West. CJ is here and this chat also. Colin and Kelly out there in Caranage. Colin says he's not seeing us on the YouTube live. He's only seeing past programs. Check your live tab. You should find us.
Yeah, you gotta refresh.
Yeah,
you gotta refresh on Kick Live.
All right. So all of those persons coming in, and to the people from Guile, we thank you very much for being here. Let's take that break, and we will be back.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
For God shall wipe away, yes sir, every tear from their eye. Yes sir. Get ready.
TNT, get ready for Kirk Franklin in concert. Prisoners No More. We meet at the Queen's Park Oval on March 21st for an unforgettable evening of revival and renewal with Kirk Franklin and his full band.
Revolution. Come on, do you want a revolution?
And Trinbago's top gospel artists, Jaron Nurse, Gates Praise, Blessed Messenger, St. Anthony's Music Ministry, and Darren Sandy.
But there is no sunshine.
Early bird tickets are sold out. General, kids, VIP, group, and cabana tickets available at accesstix.com. Hacker restaurants nationwide, Maranatha bookstores, Living Water Community, Santa Rosa Bookshop, Arima, St. Anthony's, RC Church, Point Fortin, Sky 99.5 FM, CNC3, and the Big Board Company are the official media partners. Endorsed by Catholic TT and the Ministry of Culture and Community Development. Kirk Franklin is coming to TNT.
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
Scandal in Cedrus is coming to San Fernando, and it is hilarious. Coming from sold-out houses in Port of Spain, this is the play that has audiences in stitches. 2 nights only at Naparima Bowl. Saturday the 14th of March at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 15th at 6:30 p.m. Box office at Naparima Bowl opens from Monday, March 9th, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets also available at K-Square Fashion City Center and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. Tickets also available at Fence of Marabella by the Roundabout. Scandal in Cedrus, the comedy event of the year.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now, what are you waiting for?
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
All right, we go straight into the newspapers today, March 10th, 2026. Some of the trending stories in the Express Online. Man wearing ankle monitor killed hours before court appearance. Man dies at abandoned secondary school, and that's a very strange story. Hilux owner feared murdered, body found on Tyrico Beach. Nicki Minaj praises PM, that's Prime Minister. And bather pulled under wave dies after rescue attempt. And all that happened again at Tyrico Beach, apparently. So they found a dead body, and then right after that, somebody drowned. All right, so those are all trending stories in today's Express Online edition. All right.
All right, so let me get to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. So Charles, and that thing that I now listened to your message, sorry. So I sent you a WeTransfer, okay?
Yeah, okay, great, thanks.
So I suppose you could do it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, so the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. Bacchanal over TSTT retreat, CW calls for minister to intervene amid claims of spending spree, but company defends executive activity.
If the alleged video, I'm not sure if that's the actual of them partying on the boat, the yacht.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. But TSTT said that they did not spend that much money. But guess what? Companies do send executives on retreats. That does happen because you're already trying to get your management team to work together, because sometimes you can have conflict in your management team. So sometimes you need to get them together because they already know how efficient you are, and you really want to get them to bond and work together, and you have different kinds of sessions to accomplish that. So, you know,
similar to a cabinet retreat.
A kind of, but a cabinet retreat is sometimes maybe a little bit more autocratic, because of course the Prime Minister holds such power. In a business environment, it tends to be a little bit more collaborative. But there's always somebody in control, but you will have different kinds of sessions, you know, in terms of getting whatever conflicts may be under the surface out, or if not out, certainly how people manage conflict. Because you have to have that mechanism in any office. You have to be able to manage conflict.
But is it the retreat or the expenditure? I think it was more the expenditure, because you're right. Retreats are needed for a lot of places and a lot of groups.
But TSTT said that was not the cost.
Okay. Well, I guess they could prove otherwise.
So yeah. So that's one of the headlines. CPO, government maintaining cash, non-cash mix for PSA back pay. CPO maintains 5% CPO maintains 5% offer to police and fire officers. Military appeal, whatever that means. Kamala again defends Trump partnership. Extending maternity leave leads to more capable children. TNT Chamber President, empathy does not mean weakness. AmCham TNT President, when women lead, businesses become stronger, and region facing perfect storm of volatility, says Chinapu. La Hunt, breakfast shed vendors must vacate. by April 30th.
Yeah, they get eviction notices again.
Yeah. Douglas runs world leading under 1800 meters time at character trials. Holder named in T20 World Cup team of the tournament. So that's just some of the stories in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. So we are down from 3 daily newspapers to 2. And that's it.
Yeah. I have to silence my phone. My phone is going off nonstop. Anyway, so yeah, those are all these stories. Of course, we are going to speak with Garvin Heerah in the next hour, former head of the National Operations Center, NOC. He's going to talk about the partnership with Trinidad and Tobago and the US. What was the summit called? Was it Summit of Americas? No, it wasn't that.
No, something Shield.
Shield of America. I think it's Shield of America. Yeah, Shield of America. We're going to speak with him in the next hour concerning his opinion on that. And we're going to poll it actually too this morning. All right. Let me say good morning also. Special good morning as I see it flash across the screen to Amjad Ali and the folks at Furniture Plus. I attempted to go there on Saturday. I said, wait, look at people. And we had to park. It was 2 miles away from the place. I said, no, Amjad had turned around. Sorry. I went St. James Branch instead and I got what I wanted. You know, but it was oversubscribed on Saturday. I hope you do it again someday soon. You know?
Yeah, I didn't even get a chance to go, but I was so busy with the play anyway.
Yeah.
I'd have been preoccupied with that. Yeah.
Too many people there Saturday.
Yeah. So what do you want to get in Furniture Plus St. James when?
Well, I had to get some stuff for a place in St. James that are trying to finish that somebody had promised me their stuff, but that don't look like that happening. So I had to get the stuff. I don't have a choice. Yeah, so I'm going to go hunting again before the end of the week and try to get that stuff. So, yeah. Do anybody else have any news? Sorry, Sir Charles. Ron DeSantis Jr. came in on the chat, and also Kurt Hope from Nashville, Tennessee. He's back from Trinidad. So he's back in Nashville, Tennessee. All right, so that's it there. All
right. Did you know?
Did you know one of the most influential voices of the Black Power movement was born right here in the Caribbean? Stokely Carmichael, later known as Kwame Ture, was born in Port of Spain, Trinidad in 1941. Like many Caribbean families of that era, his parents migrated to the United States seeking opportunity, and he joined them as a child. What started as a simple immigrant journey would grow into a life that reshaped global conversations about race, power, and identity. As a young student at Howard University, he quickly became involved in activism. He joined the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, one of the leading forces in the American Civil Rights Movement, putting himself on the front lines of protests challenging segregation. In the early 1960s, Carmichael risked arrest during freedom rides and voter registration drives across the American South. These were dangerous efforts aimed at dismantling systemic racism, and he paid the price with repeated jail time. But by the mid-1960s, he began questioning whether nonviolent protest alone was enough. During a 1966 march, he popularized the phrase Black Power, calling for self-determination, pride, and political independence for Black communities. That moment marked a turning point in civil rights history, shifting the conversation from integration alone to empowerment and ownership. He later became chairman of SNCC and worked closely with the Black Panther Party, helping expand ideas around community defense and political organization. Under intense government surveillance, Carmichael eventually left the United States in 1969. He settled in Guinea, where he adopted the name Kwame Ture, honoring African leaders Kwame Nkrumah and Ahmed Sekou Toure, and dedicated the rest of his life to Pan-African unity and liberation movements. Though he built his legacy abroad, his story began in Trinidad, a reminder that Caribbean voices have shaped global history in powerful ways. Kwame Ture's ideas about identity, dignity, and collective empowerment continue to influence conversations about justice around the world. His journey from Caribbean immigrant child to international revolutionary thinker shows how deeply connected our histories truly are. If you didn't know, now you know. So listen to New Era TT Radio for more great content.
Some friends. Oh God, morning Shaka Suberu. You are real clog, yes? Richard Amjad said, anytime you're going to Furniture Plus, you guys going to Furniture Plus, just let him know. He will ensure that you get parking right in front of the place and you'll go straight up to the cashier. Morning Amjad. Nobody said just let him know when you're going there, whatever you want.
Yeah. I've gone about, well, was it last year? Yeah, to get a couple of mattresses. You know, every now and then you have to change your mattresses.
No, why?
Yeah, you do. Depending on how old they are.
Okay. Oh, it's about the age. It's not about the usage.
Nah. You heard that honest now? You don't get more honest than that. You said it with 100% sincerity.
I think I have a completely new side of my mattress anyway, so
you have to flip. You know, you have to flip over your mattress and then flip it back. You know,
I've never done that.
You never turn over your mattress.
No.
No, you do. You turn over your mattress. I'm sure people in Trinidad have turned over their mattresses.
What the hell? Why would you turn over your mattress?
Because after a while, that side.
That's why, Richard, that there's a top part.
Oh, if you have those kind of puffy parts.
Yeah, I have that.
What they call it, the something top. The pillow top?
Yeah.
No, it's not pillow top. Is it pillow top?
I have.
No, but if you have a mattress without a pillow top, you could flip it.
Okay.
Yeah. Not the pillow top ones, because you're right. That has a definitive top.
Yeah, that has a definitive top.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're telling me.
But some of the ordinary mattresses where you don't have that kind of top, you flip them.
Well, I imagine.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm talking about, Sir Charles.
Yeah, I flip mine every now and then.
Yeah.
You put it out the sun and thing though?
Nah, when I wish out the sun. that was a long time there when they used to pee a bed.
No, it's not impossible. I suppose it's not impossible. It's not impossible to pee a bed. I mean, if you're drunk or you're having that dream. Because sometimes you have a dreamer, and in the dream, at least I have had this dream, and in the dream, you're looking for a toilet. And you want to pee, and there's a long line. And you say, I need to pee. And then you'll wake up and say, wait, I really need to pee.
That really happens.
It does.
I never experienced the pee part of it, but I remember dreaming like I wanted to spit. But I just actually spit it. Get it up in the... Yeah.
My God, you all have had some dreams.
But let me congratulate you, Sir Charles, on some good did you know and good news. Did you know and good news this morning?
Yeah,
I will add to that good news with a video just now, guys, because my grandson made it also on the Carter team for Trinidad and Tobago. They head out to Grenada in April. Carter Games is in April in Grenada, and he made the team again. He didn't make the team last year, but he made the team this year. You know, so congratulations to him. But I'll do a little video. I'll send a little video that they did of him and share it as good news one of these mornings, right? So congratulations to all the young people, all the members of the team. I think it's 72 strong, 70-something odd strong, heading to Grenada in the next couple weeks. Less than a month. I think it's the 4th of April in Grenada. Right, Carter Games.
Yeah, excellent, man.
Yeah,
had a nice turnout
at the Savannah now at Hazy Comfort Stadium the other day. Lots of people came out to cheer them on. I think Howard Chinley's son is also on the team. You know, so morning Howard Chinley. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, that's a name I've heard for a long time. Also.
Yeah, spotted him down at the stadium. You know, and morning and congratulations to Ephraim Surratt, who was a former of course, national athletic runner, national athlete, and coach, and now he's back as president of the NTAs. Morning, Mr. Surratt, and well done.
All right, did you all see this video?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, that's that one.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah.
That's somewhere, I think, is Gasparillo. I think they mentioned that.
Is it? Was in South? Yeah, because I can
Show it again, Sir Charles. See if you can get it a little earlier. What's that? Watch the car that's approaching the theater. Where they are coming around the bend. Now the road doesn't have lanes per se, right? But you clearly see that car was on the other side. And it's a police vehicle, eh? That white SUV is a police vehicle.
Play it one more time, Sir Charles. That's the beginning of the end.
See, he tried to pull back when he realized he's on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of people drive like that. Even right on the corner right by me here, sometimes I see people turning into the street off the main road, and they are actually on the other side of the road.
Right in front of my house, I see that every day. There, as a matter of fact, on the corner, I had one of those mirrors. But the mirror, I think a TNTech truck or some construction truck mashed it up. But right here, I see that. And I cringe because I figure somebody's going to end up into my wall or into the drain one of these days.
Yeah, people always take the corners very shallow.
Yeah. Sometimes they do. So anyway, I suppose they will analyze it in terms of, was the guy who crashed into the police? I mean, the police were obviously on the wrong side and pulling to the other side from the video, but the other vehicle seemed to be going a little fast too.
Quick too, yeah.
Yeah, so they weren't. Because if you were taking your time, you would have been able to maneuver.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it just so happens too, Richard, that where they met is right where that fall away is. So they had no chance.
Yeah.
You understand? That fall away in the land now.
Yeah.
You know? They didn't have a chance.
That's something else, yeah. I saw that bit. Well, you get all these videos, but your stream very busy with all the background and trouble.
Everything I just get. No, sometimes I get them from Facebook, eh? I don't actually get them from someone. I go through Facebook and I see them and I say, hey, this is definitely something for the breakfast show.
Yeah. Sometimes those things don't come across my stream, but a lot of times they don't. Because the algorithm not seeing that I am that interested in.
Yeah, people, we can take a calls 281-1315-299-5156. Just before we get into our morning poll. All right, so good morning to you, caller.
Good morning. 2 points I'd like to raise this morning.
Proceed.
What is the police?
One, oh God, you know I'm coming to the police this morning. But one, our failure of journalism in this country is mind-blowing. When a man died 2 days before 2 hours before going to court. So 2 hours or 2 days?
2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours before going to court. And I don't know, you didn't say it. I haven't read the article. I saw it in the headline of the Express. But I'm prejudging. But they say the man was going to court as a witness or as an accused. And it will be very interesting if he is going to court as a witness to get murdered 2 hours before his court hearing. That is
he's on a murder charge.
He's was accused.
Because he had an ankle bracelet on too, eh?
Yeah, he was on a murder charge and he had bail.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, the second thing is this incident with the license officers. It only proves to me SOE doesn't work. Because in a SOE, it doesn't stop people from tripping off and acting how this man acted. It doesn't stop whoever killed the man who was going to court. It didn't stop him. So SOE doesn't work to stop or prevent crime. to stop or prevent people from tripping off and challenging authorities. Right? That's the first point I would like to make. Well, along with that, and Clyde Clark said it. Clyde Clark, we have to understand the words that Clyde Clark used. Clyde Clark it was one time I respected Clyde Clark. His last night with his statement about the matter. One, he didn't jump out and defend the men and them because he is in charge. Unlike what the police commissioner did. Unlike what the police commissioner did with the shooting of the two people. And the second thing is he didn't throw him under the bus. But from what he understood thus far, before he got the report, from what he understood, it sounds like he understood that licensed officers went a bit beyond their purview. Because he said it is not in the purview of licensed officers to be the aggressor. And I'm assuming that to mean you don't take people key and you don't try and drag people out of a vehicle. That is not your purview.
Yeah, I want to agree with you there, Lincoln, that Mr. Clark always came across as a very level-headed. I don't know, licensing officer, not the whole, because we used to interview Ruben Cato, was always a level-headed person. And they've not known to be in an aggressive situation. I don't know any. I've never seen that before.
And then the final thing that he did was that put the icing on the cake was said, I cannot make a statement until I get the full report. Well done with his response to that situation. Right? The next situation I want to just touch on is the video you all just saw there. Yes, the man was driving, but appeared to the feeder appeared to approach that corner kind of with excessive speed. However, it would have made no difference if the police was driving on the right side of the road.
True.
If he had bent that corner at that speed, there was no question in my mind that he would have still run into the police vehicle because he would not have been able to keep on the left.
No, man, why you saying that?
Corner. I highly doubt it.
You never drive up Lavantil?
Not taking a corner at that speed. Not
You making joke,
if it was sped up, but at that speed he was going to, I highly doubt you would have been able to keep on the left side of the road. However, if the police was on their left or was on the right side of the road, whether they had hit him, whether they didn't hit him, the police could have responded and now turned around and pursued for reckless driving. There's a charge, there's an offense. Right?
If you watch,
because they were on the wrong side of the road, they're wrong first. They are wrong first. If there's any charge of who wrong first, they're wrong first.
All right, no problem.
On the wrong side of the road. Right?
Thanks very much, Lincoln.
If you watch over that video too, you'll see that the police had room on their side to pull away if the guy was coming too fast on their side. The police had the room, but the guy didn't have the room,
If they are taking the corner properly, the man might have just zoom around the corner and go his way as he normally does. Mr. Billy, good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys, and pleasant morning to you all.
Good morning.
I have stories, but I only raised one because that last call, I think there's Lincoln, you all calling him, right? He have really eloquently well put forward what I was thinking too about those licensing officers and how they see his payoff. So I will not dwell there. I want to say that TSTT, I am not too sure if the Minister of Public Utilities is the line minister. Not too sure because of that communications, I don't know. Well, maybe Mr. Wendell or yourself could guide me. Is Minister Barry Papada? Is the line minister?
Yeah, TSTT comes under public utilities.
Right. So I am saying he has to make a statement whenever he comes back on his trip to Florida, because this is a scandal. This is a big scandal with this TSTT going to Tobago or where they went on this retreat. I have gone on several retreats, something with the Defense Force, and I can't even imagine a total of what we see playing out there. Even if it's not 0.5 million, if it's 0.1 million cells, it is ridiculous. What could these people be discussing? So, and I saw a video, I don't know if that is happening, with people with a bat suit and walking around and drinking and enjoying it. Yeah, that happens.
What are you supposed to do?
And all these kind of things. These people are taking advantage. The chairman, whoever approved that for that to go on, They should be sacked. They should be sacked. We're not getting nothing and improving. And why these people doing that and taking advantage? If they had to spend their own money, they would have never do all these lighting and all this other foolishness. I want to hear the Minister of Public Utilities. I personally will be calling him to deal with these people. That is the advantage of, as somebody rightfully say, they will use the money, they hold money from their pocket to go on with the scandalous spending in things. Thank you all very much.
Yeah. All right.
The bottom line is that the state should simply relinquish its shares in TSTT and put it back into the private sector totally. What is the state doing running the telecommunications in 2026?
How long are we talking this talk, Richard? But our poll is up, people. Do you expect tangible benefits from our partnership with Donald Trump and the USA? Yes or no? Do you expect tangible benefits? Of course, we will be speaking with Garvin Heerah in the next hour concerning that. But the poll is up. You can vote on it right through our news. And when we come back, we try to show also that video because we don't have Garvin for too long. We'll try to show that video with the licensing office incident, right?
Right.
Okay.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Tuesday, the 10th of March, on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says Trinidad and Tobago stands committed to a new regional security alliance led by Donald Trump aimed at combating drug cartels. Trump signed a proclamation establishing the Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition during the Shield of the Americas summit in Miami, with Persad-Bissessar at his side. The coalition focuses on using coordinated military and intelligence efforts across the hemisphere to dismantle criminal cartels and disrupt the flow of drugs and illegal weapons. In a message on social media, Persad-Bissessar described the agreement as a historic step toward confronting narco-trafficking and restoring security in the region. Government officials say the partnership is also expected to strengthen intelligence sharing and regional cooperation against organized crime. The Chaguanas Chamber of Industry and Commerce says businesses have operated under the strain of organized crime and the state of emergency for too long. Chamber President Baldath Maharaj says the organization welcomes recent talks between Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and U.S. President Donald Trump during the Shield of the Americas summit in Florida. Maharaj says cooperation with the United States on intelligence sharing and security resources could help dismantle criminal networks and restore investor confidence. He says discussions around the proposed Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition represent a practical step toward improving national security and strengthening the business climate. Maharaj adds that stronger diplomatic ties with Washington could also create new trade, energy, and economic opportunities for Trinidad and Tobago. Questions and mixed reactions are emerging following Trinidad and Tobago's decision to join the proposed Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar signed the agreement at the Shield of the Americas summit, hosted by U.S. President Donald Trump. Opposition Senator Amory Brown says while security cooperation with the United States is important, government must convince citizens the initiative will produce real results. Former Minister Vasant Bharath questioned how the alliance will address Trinidad and Tobago's domestic crime challenges, warning the country could be joining a framework that may not match its security realities. However, Congress of the People leader Prakash Ramadar welcomed the move, saying deeper international cooperation is needed to tackle gun trafficking and organized crime. Talks have resumed between the government and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association over matters affecting police officers. Chief Personnel Officer Dr. Daryl Dindiel met Monday with the association's executive at the Personnel Department to continue discussions on salary negotiations for the 2020 to 2022 bargaining period. The association has not accepted the government's 5% salary offer made in April last year, but says it will submit a written response. Other issues raised during the meeting included the job evaluation exercise, the group health plan, pension reform, and matters concerning municipal police. Association President Ishmael Pitt says the body will consult with its executive and membership as discussions continue. In crime news, the family of Stacey Samaru, whose body was found floating in the sea in Tobago last week, is still awaiting an autopsy to determine how she died. Her mother says a forensic pathologist from Trinidad is expected to travel to Tobago to conduct the examination as police continue investigations. Meanwhile, police suspect foul play in the death of Homadath Supdio, whose body was discovered bound and gagged near Tiraco Beach on Sunday. Investigators believe the 44-year-old may have been strangled and that his body was dumped at the beach. Officers from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service are continuing inquiries as the country's murder toll stands at 65. Finally, in international news, U.S. President Donald Trump says the war with Iran could be over quickly as American and Israeli forces continue military operations. Speaking in Florida, Trump defended the strikes as a preemptive move, claiming Iran was preparing attacks across the Middle East and potentially against Israel. He said many of Iran's missile launch sites and drone facilities have already been destroyed, adding that the U.S. military is crushing the enemy. However, the administration has not presented firm public evidence to support claims that Iran was close to producing a nuclear weapon. Trump also said the United States has already achieved significant success, but remains determined to secure what he called ultimate victory.
And that is news at this time. Thank you for listening.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
With your hands them up in the sky, rolling back and having a time. Lord, we like men again, and we have money to spend. Yes, we jamming down to the end. See me with me carnival friend. Lord, me carnival friend. I wish she come from there. London, I wish she come from there. New York, I wish she come from there. When you come in, my baby, I wish she come from there. Atlanta, she come from there. Toronto, she come from there. And I know that you miss me. I love the way that you bring a vibe. With your hands them up in the sky, falling down and having a time. Wine season again, and we have money to spend. And we jamming down to the end. Rolling with me carnival friend. Lord, me carnival friend. Yeah, me carnival friend. Oh, yeah. Lord, me carnival friend. Yeah, Lord, me carnival friend. Until we meet up again. Everything done start, you know. The back done park, you know. She dreaming to take a wine on me, cause she coming down to please. When she ramage, she push it back, all the bam bam rolling. And she saving some for me. I telling you, I love whenever you bring a vibe. With your hands them up in the sky, watch we drunk and having a time. Carnival time again, and we have the money to spend. And we go right down to the end. Watch me with me carnival friend, them me carnival friend. Yeah.
happy carnival. Love the way that you bring a vibe, with your hands them up in the sky, rolling back and having a time. Lord, we lying in again, and we have real money to spend, and we jamming down to the end. See me with my cannibal friend, and my cannibal friend, yeah. Me cannibal friend, oh yeah. Now me cannibal friend, yeah. Now me cannibal friend, until we beat up again, yeah. Friend, yeah. Now me cannibal friend, until we beat up again, yeah. I wish she come from there, Sando. I wish she come from there, Caranage. Where she come from there, and she loves she bacana. I wish she come from there, Sando. I wish she come from there, Caranage.
You're locked into NETT Radio, Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and
Where you come from there, and make carnival and a friend. Hey, everybody, good morning to you once again. And of course, if you're joining us for the very first time this morning, thank you so much. It just shows that you got great taste in radio and television stations. Yeah, New Era TT Radio, Heartbeat of the Caribbean, and of course, Kyle Caribbean TV. Yeah, get to have your people. Good morning to our anthem crew, those who come in very early, just before 6 o'clock. Good day to you. All the other people who are coming in along the way, and I know you're going to stay with us and go all the way. And just to let you know that when we come off of the Gael feed on our social media feed, somewhere around 8:30, a little later around there, all you have to do is come across to NewEraTTRadio.com. That's NewEraTTRadio.com. New Era TT Radio if you're on TuneIn. And that way you got us on your Google and of course all of your Alexa devices, yeah?
She come from there, Caranage, where she come from there, and she loves she bacana.
And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow the different channels and pages. And also don't forget to hit that support button, right? Support, donate button. Need your support. All right. So the morning poll. Everybody's asking the question, do you expect tangible benefits for Trinidad and Tobago coming out of that new Shield alliance and a partnership that has been formed with Donald Trump and folks out there in the US? You're voting yes or no, and we tell you how you voted on the other side of the break, all right? Also on the other side of the break, we will be talking with none other than a security expert, Dr. Garvin Heerah. So he's coming in. You may be able to answer that question for us, right? So remember, you're voting yes or no, and then you're putting anything else after that, right? But stay with us here on the net. We will be back.
God shall wipe away, yes, sir, every tear from their eye. Yes, sir. Get ready.
TNT, get ready for Kirk Franklin in concert. Prisoners No More. We meet at the Queen's Park Oval on March 21st for an unforgettable evening of revival and renewal with Kirk Franklin and his full band.
Revolution. Come on, do you want a revolution?
And Trinbago's top gospel artists, Sharon Nurse, Gates Praise, Blessed Messenger, St. Anthony's Music Ministry, and Darren Sandy.
But there is no sunshine.
Early bird tickets are sold out. General, kids, VIP, group, and cabana tickets available at accesstix.com. Hacker restaurants nationwide, Maranatha bookstores, Living Water Community, Santa Rosa Bookshop, Arima, St. Anthony's, RC Church, Point Fortin, Sky 99.5 FM, CNC3, and the Big Board Company are the official media partners. Endorsed by Catholic TT and the Ministry of Culture and Community Development. Kirk Franklin is coming to TNT.
Scandal in Cedrus is coming to San Fernando, and it is hilarious. Coming from sold-out houses in Port of Spain, this is the play that has audiences in stitches. 2 nights only at Naparima Bowl. Saturday the 14th of March at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 15th at 6:30 p.m. Box office at Naparima Bowl opens from Monday, March 9th, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets also available at K-Square Fashion C3 Center and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. Tickets also available at Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. Scandal in Cedrus, the comedy event of the year.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
All right, everybody. So we are back inside of the second hour of the breakfast show. And of course, yes, you are listening to us on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, and Gaia Caribbean TV. And for all those who, I don't know what's going on in some areas, but we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube.
I know for sure we are live on YouTube, but I'm not sure. Somebody messaged me to say we're not live on Facebook.
Yeah, and I saw your message, so and I just checked it, and we are very
you
live.
saw it. Okay, all right. Well, maybe they need data. They need to put some money in the phone.
Maybe put some data and refresh.
Put some TSCT. Get TSCT some money now. They want to go and retreat again. Send somebody their way.
That's retreat or real treat. I ain't too sure which one it was.
Real treat.
Yeah,
you know, there's a saying for people who go and work in city council, right? SICITY, city council, right? You know, there's called city council, sweetie council, right?
This called them what?
The work so sweet. They call it sweetie council, not city council.
Okay.
Sweetie council. Oh Lord, people have a say for everything, yes?
Yes.
Anyway, our poll is up, people. Do you expect tangible benefits from our partnership with Donald Trump and the USA? And this is all concerning this new, what did you say, Sir Charles, was the word?
What is the
name of the summit? What's the name of the
Shield
of Americas, right? Yeah. Be specific to this. So please don't tell us about yes, we're always doing this, and yes, we have this, and yeah. We're talking specifically to the Shield of Americas, right? Maybe we should have put out in the poll, but we didn't. But we're speaking specifically about this new arrangement, this new Shield of Americas thing that they come up with. Because as far as I know, that's brand new. I don't know that I've ever heard about that before. All right, so we're speaking specifically about the Shield of Americas. We are going to have a guest who's going to weigh in on it in a little bit. But in the meantime, we could call out your poll results.
Let's hear your poll.
You ready?
Yeah, because our guest is here.
All right. Suzanne Jessup says no. Diane, no. Ava Smith, no. Bernadette Yates, no. Boy Bidesi, yes. Kazim Mohammed, no. Wayne Joseph, no. Gregory Boyer, no. He hopes he's wrong, no. James Kamau, no. Kelcha Cambridge, no. Kim Govaya, no. Carlisle Cupid, no. He says Donald Trump got the photo op that he wanted. Deborah Noel Serret, no, I don't trust Trump. Joseph Clement, no. Jason Samuel, yes. It started with the pen. Oh God, Jason Samuel, I know you're being sarcastic there. Kurt Hope, no. BVC,
yes is yes. Yes is yes.
Yes. Beefy Smith, no. Andre didn't vote. Kurt Hope, no. Lester Cragwell, yes. Trump rewards loyalty. Yeah, was what he considered loyalty, yeah? Eunice Dublin, no. Rena Jennings says, Jason, she wasn't the only one to get a pen. Yeah? And she votes no. Elizabeth, that Suzette Jessup says no. Gemma Peters Halls, no. Robert Allen, no. Well, he corrected it down below. No. Apollonius, no. Alistair Hart, no. Scorpion Pepper, I'm putting a yes for you because if I have to interpret what you say here, you mean yes. There should be some tangible benefits from the partnership, but don't know if they'll be realized. So that's a yes. A permission to interpret, guys?
Yeah.
Right, yes. Margarita Chow, no. Junior Wickham is frowning. Fran Romani didn't vote. Michael Robinson, no. Fran Romani votes no. Trini and Boston, no. Black Leo, no. Dave Gosai, no. Rhea Sampson, no. Ron DeSantis Jr., hell yes. Scorpion Pepper, yes. Well, I don't interpret here already. Carla Hercules, no. Far Rockaway, yes. Michael Grandison, no. Annalie Johnson, no. Michael Cadet can't say, and Carl Guevara votes no. Those are the votes I have, Sir Charles.
All right, so let me tell you what we have on the WhatsApp. So we have, I have to go into some of these things. People, yes or no first, right? WhatsApp a little more challenging to maneuver. All right, so Peter Wilson says says yes. Pauline says yes. Kenwin says yes. Captain Ron says no. Zena says no. Mr. Billy says yes. Afria says no. Sean says yes. Raymond says no. Archbishop Ashton Clark says no. Did I say Afria just now?
Yeah.
All right. Afria says no. And Sean Ram says yes. That's what I got here.
I have two more, and that's Beauty Culture, no, and Sankofa, no. Carlisle Cupid, you are so correct with your comment. He said this new shield will not curtail America's insatiable appetite for cocaine, I guess that's cocaine, and fentanyl. That's the core of the problem. You might be very right. I don't see that those habits changing from people, and not just in America. I've walked the streets of Toronto already, and I've seen people in conditions that I shocked. They have a park with drug addicts that they go on and treat them and so on. If you see, it's a scary sight, that human beings could get to that level.
Yeah.
I don't know how people still take drugs when they see what drugs doing to other people. You know, man? Yeah, imagine you seeing what drugs doing to people and you still say, let me try it.
Yeah, probably had to get a psychiatrist inside to help us with that one day. All right, but on the poll this morning, as far as the tangible benefits, 51 persons on the poll this morning. 40 of you said no. 11 of you said yes.
Yeah.
So 40 persons saying no, 11% saying yes.
Yeah. I admire anybody, and I lift up anybody who was on drugs and able to get out of it and stay out of it. I will always admire people like that, because that you must have been through hell using drugs.
Yeah.
Son?
All right, well, let's go into our Let's Talk. Say we are smack on 7:25, so let's go.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So we can't have Garvin on camera, right?
Yeah,
right. No problem.
He's always on the move.
Yeah.
Commander Heerah,
Commander Heerah.
Hi. Morning, team. How are you guys doing? Hearing me? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, good.
I guess, Garvin, we could start off with the poll, because you would have made some comments on it over the weekend in terms of what tangible benefits do you expect to come out of this new Shield of America? And is it new? Is this organization brand new? And why is Trinidad and Tobago involved in it? I asked you plenty of things here.
Yeah, for one question, yeah, simply.
A three-part question, but again, good conversation, guys. Full compliments on that. With regard to the poll, I'll have to go on a spoiled ballot. However, I would be able to comment as to what should really be our viewpoint. Yes, this is not a new thing as such. What we've seen now is that there's a drive and a push to make it more effective. If we go all the way back to the Caribbean Basin Incentive with Reagan and the coalition there with regard to security in the Caribbean Basin, there was always that impact to provide security and support within the region. So this new terminology of the Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition, the AC3, is but to give it some more muscle to make it more effective. And I know that the Honorable Prime Minister and her team would have met with Southcom Command, and there were some discussions. But when you look into it, it is already what is existing. It's just to make it more effective now to ensure that we could actually have deliverables. And this is where I would now step in as to tangible and intangible. We need to not just have meetings and good photo ops. From that, there has to be what is known as strong sidebar conversations, probably with our heads of security, heads of defense, law enforcement, meeting with their counterparts, and rolling out now deliverables that could standardize that sort of intent across the region. Trinidad has put its hand up as probably even to be the go-to for this EC3, and inclusive of Guyana, but Trinidad is more out there, in the support of the coalition. So we're going to play a role, and I think it's a good role for regional security to get at some low-hanging fruits and some benefits. We have heard some very good discussions. There were two scholars from UWI that made some comments and talked about a lifeline to this, in that this could just only be existing because of the Trump regime. After that, who knows if this thing will ever happen again, if it's going to continue. So we have to also think long-term. And in that aspect, with regard to regional stability, which includes regional economy, regionally socioeconomic, and of course security, we will have to ensure that what we drill into now has some short, medium, and long-term benefits, not only for Trinidad, but for the region. It's like building on the opportunity that you had. My deceased dad always said, graze where the grass is green. And therefore, we have to build on our longevity based on what is taking place now. That's how I see it.
But Garvin, okay, well.
Let me just finish this one, Richard, as I ask that first question. That's where I think the problem lies, because people and the Prime Minister has been warned by some former politicians and so on, that about being wary about any arrangement with Donald Trump, because he's just not trustworthy. How because I think you mentioned that just now, that you don't know if it's going to last after he exits office. So why would Trinidad and Tobago should we be making such a commitment?
Yeah. The thing about it is that outside of the commitment, we are in a place now in the region where there is need for us to rebuild the whole concept of CARICOM and what we stand for, and giving ourselves a voice in the geopolitics. And therefore, if an opportunity is presenting itself with this coalition, so to do, then utilize it, but utilize it for your benefit. That's what I'm saying. This is not a one-way street. This is not America wants certain things so that they're going to tap into Trinidad and Tobago so as to benefit from what they are seeking. It has to be what we also are seeking for that, because be it this thing lasts only for the reign of the president of the US, what happens is it fall apart after that. We have to ensure that longevity to this coalition gives a sort of effect across the region post the president of the US at this point, because we are going to remain, as I said, the dust is going to settle, the air is going to clear, and eventually we still have to live with our neighbors, and we still have to ensure that there's stability in our area, because in this region now, and as I said it before, because of the geopolitics, we are now playing a major part on the world stage, and therefore we have to also have that sort of around the corner vision. That's what I'm saying.
But you know, of course, it's a coalition generally of what people may label right-wing governments, because of the current Trump administration, and they're leaning to those kinds of ideologies. And obviously, the US sees hemispheric support as being important, because they're not only supporting the Shield of America initiative, but you also have them supporting, and our prime minister is one, the what the US is doing in Iran, etc. So does this not, one, alienate us more? I hear you kind of saying it's wonderful and it's an opportunity. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this, one, because it's not a coordinated CARICOM stance, and because it's only 2 CARICOM countries that were invited, namely Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, that it doesn't risk our relationships within CARICOM, and also possibly open us to the more international scrutiny from countries that are not
aligned,
are not big friends of the United States, like China and other countries like that. Of course, China being the most important one, because they have certain investments and certain relationships with us. So don't you think that there is a possible negative fallout as a result of that within CARICOM and some of our other international partners for what at this point is an unknown benefit?
So one, my response was not as flowery as you articulated, that between it a wonderful and all of that. It was just that I think it's something positive. So I'd stay in that tone. However, you are quite correct, and therefore, when you are embarking on these sort of bilaterals and joint international sort of conferences, seminars, summits, it is important to also have the due diligence, because the aspect of diplomatic relations has to take priority, and you're quite correct. We have to ensure diplomatic relations in CARICOM. What I am saying is that we should be able to advocate the low-hanging fruit, the wins, the benefits of this as a regional benefit rather than a Trinidad benefit, because yes, some of the other countries were not invited, but Trinidad was there, Guyana was there. How can what we are embarking upon now put the lights on the stage at some of the other countries to say, you know what, we could also be part of this? Can Trinidad now emerge as some sort of leader, a point director, that sort of driver, cheerleader in the region for this? Because we, at the end of the day, we stand to gain if it is managed and coordinated properly, and it should not just be an opportunity of attending a summit. It should be departing from that summit with a list of what can benefit Trinidad, especially let's look at just 3 big ones: energy security, regional and homeland security within your country, and importantly now, standardization of working together, intelligence and information sharing across the hemisphere and across the region, both including of LATAM. Don't dismiss LATAM. There was a strong LATAM contingent. So there is a great opportunity here to make this work. This is not about the president of the US. This is not about the AC3. This is about we can have coordination and coalition to benefit our area, our region, our hemisphere. And that is why I was saying the sidebar meetings should have been a major part of this. That should have been contemplated.
But you know, I hear you, and I know you said I would make Trinidad a leader in the region. I don't know if the region is looking at it as fondly as you're looking at it. I think the region may be saying, look, what has happened to Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana?
Right.
In terms of because remember, we are moving towards, we have been moving towards it for years, but we're moving towards integrating not only that, but freedom of movement of CARICOM nationals across the entire English-speaking Caribbean, and also, of course, the non-English speaking that's part of CARICOM. So I don't know that your affinity for saying it may make Trinidad and Tobago a leader in the region. I don't know if you're looking at it through kind of rose-tinted glasses, because I don't think the rest of the Caribbean is enamored by the decision of Trinidad and Tobago to so closely align with Trump. Now, that doesn't take away from the fact that Trinidad and Tobago has the right to pursue that foreign policy, and there is a government that is pursuing that.
Yeah.
But
that is why
I don't know that is enamoring them to.
Yeah, that's what I said, Rich, that it is very important that you are continuing your conversations north, but you are holding on to your diplomatic relations and your conversations that is in the region, and we can't afford to lose effect of that. And Trinidad therefore has to look at what is taking place and ensure where the vulnerabilities are and try to move assiduously to fix that. Because in order for Trinidad and the region to benefit, the relations has to be good. And what you are saying, based on research and based on what we have seen, is that the relations are not good in CARICOM. So who's to say that we want to assume or to place or to have Trinidad leading any sort of coalition or coordination? We have to ensure that we can get the buy-in of our CARICOM partners, and that can only be done by meeting individually and, of course, sharing some of the benefits that can work from this coalition. I'm saying this has to encourage dialogue, encourage conversation and coordination, and we have to set clearly defined objectives and goals for the region. Because if we try to work with it as this is a Trinidad thing or a Guyana thing, one may just say, okay, that's for the term of this government or the term of the US government. After that, who's to say we want to continue with this? That is the underpinning of the negativity, the elephant in the room, and we have to make sure that we can fix that. So my advice to whoever are the signatories, whoever are the decision makers in this matter, is that you have work to do. You can't just assume that meeting with the US is going to set this thing. We have to fix our positioning and our posture in the region to ensure that there is a holistic benefit. If that doesn't happen, we would have failed at the membership.
But that
I have two more questions. Just now, I have two more questions.
Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
And the two questions are linked. Would you, Garvin, support? And it's a kind of twofold, but the answer will be connected to both. Would you support one, a U.S. military or security presence in the country to assist? Because the Prime Minister did meet with leaders of the South Command in Florida. So would you support U.S. military physical presence in Trinidad and Tobago to deal with the transnational drug problem, one? And two, would you support a U.S. base being reactivated wherever, Wallerfield or Chagaramas, as for U.S. physical military presence in the country?
Yeah. My answer. Oh, I thought someone's answer.
Richard, take off your mic. Go ahead, Garvin.
Yeah, my answer to that is yes. I see that as a positive move. I see that as one that will enhance and complement our present security posture. And it can also, as I would say, because I don't think Trinidad and Tobago and leave it in a box. I think outside of that, I think it would be a good support for regional partners to not only like with crime and regional security, but natural disasters, training, standardization, opportunities, you name it. It is nothing that is a new model. Is a model that can be refined and it can fit. The strat fit can be there for the incremental changes that we've experienced now in our environment. And I think it's a good move if that is considered. But it just cannot be coming and setting up a base without recognizing what exactly is going to be the roles and the function, responsibilities, the parameters of control, our boundaries. In that type of stuff, having a US base in your country is not just setting up logistics. It is also setting up the ability to operate within the legislation, within the law, and what is going to be our role and function. Those things must be identified first. Assets and resources would come with such an establishment, and we do need support with assets and resources, and therefore we utilize the opportunity to stabilize or to suppress or to bring this country back into some control when it comes to crime and security. So I'm answering yes to both of them.
Well, in addition to what that question is, explain for the people who may not understand it, Garvin, what does the presence of a US base in Trinidad and Tobago mean?
Well, one, it gives an opportunity for the US to be able to have its presence here in Trinidad and Tobago as a support, as part of the AC3 of the coalition. That's what I'm saying. It should not be a US base here to fight US enemies across the world, using it as a launch pad for vessels and for aircraft and missiles and to be able to use it to attack the enemy of it. Should not be that type of establishment of a base that you'd see probably in the Middle East and some parts of Europe. What it should be is that we are setting up an operational base here, part of the AC3, which is the Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition, to support the initiative in the region, to support the other Caribbean partners, and more importantly, with resources and assets to treat with some of the issues that we are facing here presently in country. And a part of that is also law enforcement and investigations and forensics and cyber. There is a good web of support based on resources and assets that can be established should that go that way. So it should not be a base that I don't want the public to think, okay, we're giving right here, ticking the box, let a base be set up here, and then we start using Trinidad as a launch pad to attack US enemies worldwide. No, it should be a base that is in relation to the signatories of the AC3 for the region, inclusive of Latin America. That's how I see it.
Right. I don't know. I don't know that a US base can help us at this point in time with the level of anger, the level of depression, the level of hate, the level of reprisals that we are seeing coming out from citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know that a US base could help that.
Maybe
I don't think it has anything to do with drugs.
No, I hear you. A good approach is to stay within the political lane and probably do some sort of survey and talk to the people. Let the people talk to us and to see whether or not they would want something like this. So consultation has been one of the forefronts of what this government has promoted, initially. So maybe they should go back to that whole aspect of consultation. See, what do you think about setting up a US base to deal with crime and criminal and security along those lines, and have some articulate some roles and responsibilities here and hear what the ground is saying, because I believe the ground will determine the future of how we climb, whether we go up or down.
Well, there's where we differ slightly, Garvin, because I think this government has decided they are going to do it their way. They have already consulted the population via an election, and the country gave them that mandate. So whatever you say now really don't matter. We are doing it our way. We've gotten that mandate, and we are doing it this way.
Don't get me wrong, Wendell. What I'm saying is that if you came into government promoting a consultative approach, then maintain that consultative approach for big ticket issues like this. So
I hear you, but they're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's being done.
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, time will tell. Maybe they will start to pull back and realize, hey, we are really driving people to a level of anger that we have not seen before, and we need to pull back.
Yeah, and with that anger, there's a certain level of disappointment. So there have a lot of work to be done. Guys, tremendous conversation, but I'm on the clock.
Yeah, I know you have to go.
We know you had a short time with us, Garvin, so we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So we will connect again and continue the conversation. I think there are a lot of stuff that we need to discuss on this matter.
Yes, thanks, Garvin. Thanks a million. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Garvin. We appreciate the conversation, as I said.
Yeah. And let's show that level of anger. Now, Sir Charles, is now time to show that video with licensing office. Licensing officers. Now is a good time to show. This is what is happening.
So, Charles, your boss talking, huh?
What you're unable to see from this video are the moments leading up to this point, where licensing officers told maxi taxi driver Rondell Bowen to pull aside as he had stopped in the roadway to pick up a passenger. Bowen did not fully pull off the roadway as told by the officers, who then ordered him out of the vehicle. He refused and was grabbed by an officer. From there, a physical scuffle between the two ensued. Our camera captured from the moment passengers were asked by the licensing officers to exit the vehicle. A passenger tried to quell the situation as Bowen vented his frustration.
Mommy, that is second ticket I want to give me.
What they get first? What they get the first ticket for? He continued to ask the officers to return his property.
Yeah. I just want to second.
Okay.
I'm a license officer.
Have it on the camera.
Refuse to meet my license officer.
The scene playing out in full view of motorists and commuters on the Southern Main Road in Kirap.
Every morning them attacking maxi drivers. I stick it every morning. They keep leaving my bus unsecure there. Nah, I'm not saying. I have money for that.
TV6 News contacted Transport Commissioner Clive Clark concerning the incident, which he confirms.
There was an incident that took place today involving a maxi driver and a couple officers. I also understand that the incident resulted in a fracas that would have resulted into physical altercation between both the driver and one of the officers. I am yet to get details on it. However, I must say the matter is currently receiving the attention of the Caroni police officers. And further to that, I know the person would have made their way, that the driver, to the Caroni licensing office.
From Clark's understanding, the driver wanted to meet with him, but that falls outside of licensing office protocols. At the time of our interview, Clark was yet to receive a written report.
Hopefully I should get out by this evening, early in the morning. What I do know, one of them, he is seeking medical attention, in keeping with standard operating procedure, and also 2 or 3 of them are also providing statement at the police station.
Licensing officers do have limited powers of arrest, one of which is for the offense of driving without ever having been issued a license. Clark tells us while there are situations which may cause them to become physical in their interactions with members of the public, it is usually as a means of self-protection.
But it's not our practice, I must say, in what we do to manhandle anyone in any type of situations like that. It's not part of our modus operandi as officers.
The Transport Commissioner says he's unable to make any other pronouncements until the official report is handed in. Alicia Bush.
Well, I thought we might as well listen to the rest of the news. Do all your stuff at 4.
Kudos.
Or should I just replay the rest of the news?
Let's give TV6 their credit. Let's give TV6 their credit.
Thank you very much. TV6 courtesy of Wendell Stephen.
Yes. But kudos to Commissioner Clark too, for how he dealt with the situation. Because he says it's not in their habit of manhandling people. So clearly there is a report of the driver being manhandled first, which is guess why we reacted. But I want to tell all maxi taxi drivers across the nation right now, if you'd never take my advice before, take it today. Always drive with a spare key. Because they're gone with the man key, so the man had to leave the maxi there. You understand?
It seems as if the maxi was still on. But what struck me is that woman who was trying to de-escalate the situation, and I'm just trying to say, oh my God, suppose it was Mrs. R, and she's being kind of activist, and she says, son, can't try and calm down, and the man say, look, mommy, you don't understand. She does say, what? You just call me mommy? Moms? Hey, Lexington officer, bring the handcuff. I will help all you.
You would have been on the side of the licensing officers anyway, Richard.
She does say, no, bring the handcuff. He just called me mommy. No matter what.
She would have called the policeman who just blocked you every day in Twin City to come and lock him up.
Where you gone? You went down off the rabbit hole and you got down your whole track. You create a new rabbit hole. You create a new rabbit hole that has nothing to do with this conversation.
Oh, Jesus. No, but that young man was losing it. I mean, he restrained himself still, because he really could have bust the glass with the tool. He could have do so many things there that he didn't do it, because it's almost like he was reaching that point and saying, nah, let me do this, because of course I'm sure the whole neighborhood out with the cameras.
Thank God that they race off after that.
And they film it too, because there's a video of licensing officers themselves filming him running behind the pickup. There's another video like that. But people are reaching a frust, and especially with those ticket fines and so on, because it ain't no $200 and $300 now again. It's reaching up to $2,000 and all kind of thing now, people. So imagine for one little, sometimes for simple little things, is a whole lot of money coming out your pocket. You know what I mean? It's tough. It has to be tough.
You know what I saw last week, and right up on my side here? The police were actually playing hide and seek to give people tickets. So they pulled aside. There's this area where people are not supposed to come down between, I think it's 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Goya Street. So they pull aside in the yard by the pharmacy there, and they park the vehicle there, and they're standing up, and that's by the vehicle, and as people come down the street, they step out into the road and stop you and give you your ticket. And after, well, I think on that particular side, on the southern and the northern side of that street, it's up to 3 o'clock or something like that, and then they go across on the other side now and do the same thing, park up by Frank's, hide behind the wall for people coming up on the next side to give you ticket.
Let me tell you something.
I don't see.
I see the games in St. James all the time by that street when you come up from to approach Fatima College there. You can't turn right, and there are people always turning right, and the police waiting, hiding on the next corner to hand them ticket. I also see it now on the Western Main Road, where if you come up Romeo Street, that's the street with KFC, you cannot go straight across again. For years, everybody did it. I did it. Go straight across to Salazar Street. You cannot do it anymore. There's an arrow. There are arrows now on Romeo Street telling you either have to turn left or right. and the traffic wardens are waiting right across the road there by King's Hardware and where's the nuts place? Agats. They're waiting right there for people who make that drive to go straight across to Salazar Street.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that we are very lawless. So because people know they're watching the signs, these other individuals, the day that the police or the traffic warden stands quite down the road and they see that, they know to turn quite up the road and go on the other street. But the mere that you don't see police or traffic warden or that vest, they go down.
They're hiding. There's be hiding.
Yeah, well, that's the police hiding on one time to catch you. But what I'm saying, people too. A lot of them know that they're not supposed to be going down certain areas or passing, and they still do it. So that's probably why they're.
I mean, such as you ever drive abroad, you know, man, mistakes I make driving abroad, turning place I ain't supposed to turn, and I hoping that the camera ain't pick me up because you don't already see officers.
Yeah, but these.
But it happens to people here too, eh? Sometimes they don't see the signs, eh? Or they don't know.
Yeah. Or you just don't know.
Yeah.
But because you're right, Banda, because sometimes you make mistakes. You know, like how you're supposed to park, you're supposed to park in alignment with the direction of the traffic that you are in. But Trinidadians love to cross the road and park, which we do all the time. We do that all the time.
See a spot you want to park.
Yeah, and I remember doing that once in New York, and with my partner who's a New Yorker. But I was driving, and I went, I said, hey, look at park, and I crossed the road. He said, what you doing? He went to the full panic mode. He said, what are you doing? I said, parking. You can't do that. And I said, but we do that in Trinidad all the time. You're not in Trinidad.
No, it's one mistake I learned not to make that mistake.
All right, I went that one. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Richard, I'm very familiar with what you're talking about here.
Oh, they're Trinbagonians breaking the law.
No, but to be fair, that is one law I wish that the Trinidad and Tobago police would enforce in this country. You see, this way we drive on the left, and the parlor you want to go to, the shop you want to go to, the bar you want to go to on the right-hand side, and you will just pull to the right because you don't want to cross the street. I wish we could seriously enforce in this country. I see sometimes it is do it in when they have selective times it is enforce it in St. James. I understand.
They do it in St. James right you know.
Right you know. Well, I wasn't aware of that. Anyway, what I really call for, there's an old video circulating a while ago with a traffic warden that was he had a baton, you know, the expandable batons, and he was confronting some civilian, somebody with an expandable baton in his hand, and I was so outraged by that because that an expandable baton is not an issue to traffic wardens. So in his warped little mind, he feels that he could carry his personal expandable baton to beat people with him in wherever he is. And it only goes to show the level of training that these people are exposed to before you let them out on the citizenry. Right? He doesn't understand that that is an illegal weapon to have for him in the course of his duty. He might have a better chance of using that and getting away with it in the court as a civilian. But once he put on the government uniform and he's acting in the capacity of a traffic warden, you have no business having an expandable baton. Much worse, pulling it out to intimidate, threaten, or worse yet, hit somebody with it on the nation's road. Are you mad?
But you're sure about that, eh? You're sure about they're not supposed to have that, right?
I am positive because I called traffic warden friends of mine that I have, and they said no,
that's not part of
part of the uniform, and they're not supposed to have that.
I can't see why a traffic warden would want to have that anyway.
Similarly,
something like that.
Yeah.
Correct. Similarly, for licensed officers, you get them handcuffed. They have firearms, but they are not trained on how to. Well, if police aren't trained to do it, you don't see police using proper tactics to put handcuff on somebody. Worse yet, I can't imagine licensed officers being trained or if you have a man that aggressive, how you standing to put the handcuff on them? Fear them running, fear them sit down in the car, one running around the car. How you was actually planning to put the handcuff on them? You bring a handcuff there, How you was planning to engage this man who have a tire in the hand?
They probably didn't have that. Yeah, Lincoln, thanks much.
Yeah, thank you, Lincoln. And as you said, handcuff, I just want to remind people that Scandal in Citrus is on this weekend at Naparima Bowl in San Fernando. San Fernando, we coming down. We are in South this weekend, Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30 at Naparima Bowl. The Naparima Bowl box office is open every day, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. So you can get your tickets at the Naparima Bowl box office. You can also get tickets at the outlets, K-Skirt, Fashion, C3 Center, and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, and Fence of Marabella by the roundabout. You can also purchase tickets online, RSRR Productions Theatre on social media to see the methodology to accomplish that. And let me tell you, tickets are already selling, and they're selling in droves. So I would suggest Southerners, get your tickets early. Trust me on this.
Why did
people had that experience in Port of Spain?
Why
there was a character
remind you of this play?
Because there was a character in the play who obviously was engaging in mischief and was tied up to a bed.
Okay.
So is mischief is the word you're looking for there?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Engaging in mischief?
Mischief.
You sure about the word?
Yep.
Hold it right there. Caller, good morning.
Morning, everyone. Good morning.
Morning.
With respect to the police or whoever licensed officers waiting around the corner, that is not called hiding. That's a normal practice. At least in America, that's a normal practice. It's not hiding when they catch nobody. There are lawless people. And to deal with the lawless people, that's what you do. There are people who break the law deliberately. You know, and that is why that's a normal practice up here. That's a normal thing. They wait in certain areas, and they do, and they go through a red light, and they break up, you do something wrong, they pull you aside. That's a normal practice.
That's what they do. I never said they're wrong for hiding, but they hide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were chastising them for doing that. Sorry.
No.
My mistake. Yeah. I apologize. That's a normal thing, you know. All right?
That's much of the way. Yeah, I just found it so interesting. But at the end of the day, you're right. You know, if they say, but I know a lot of people do, because I stand up and sometimes I watch the corner Wendell, and I see people coming down the street. They're driving good. They reach right by the corner, the sign. They know they're supposed to turn right and go on the other side. You see them watching. If they see it, looking safe, boy, down the road. We lawless.
Yeah.
And these are people who know, because if the police only step out or the one, you know what, they go the next.
I don't call that lawlessness. I call that taking a chance. Because people, I don't call that lawlessness. Yeah, because there's one like that in what do you call that area there, Wendell? Coming out to Ryson Road, where you could go and the road, it's really a no entry, but the entrance is just a little bit up. If you're on Ryson Road and you're turning to go by Sackville Street.
Right.
You could make another left as if you're going, but you're really trying to go to the road.
They moved that sign, Richard. I saw they moved the sign that says that you can't make that drive. They've moved the sign because everybody makes it now.
Right, and what that would have been, according to Sir Charles, lawless.
Yes.
But people used to take that chance.
Yes.
So I call that taking a chance, because it's a slight left and then it's a slight right and then an immediate left.
Then an immediate left. Yes.
Yeah. So people, but it saves a lot of time.
Yes. They've moved that sign. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I would imagine every fire truck that leaving Rice Road or anything that leaving that area had to make that drive.
Yeah, especially if you're going up in that direction. Yeah, it'll be faster.
I noticed that they've moved that. Yeah.
All right, hold on, little lessons. We're going to the news.
All right.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Tuesday, the 10th of March, on New Era TT Radio and Gael Caribbean TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar says Trinidad and Tobago stands committed to a new regional security alliance led by Donald Trump aimed at combating drug cartels. Trump signed a proclamation establishing the Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition during the Shield of the Americas summit in Miami, with Persad-Bissessar at his side. The coalition focuses on using coordinated military and intelligence efforts across the hemisphere to dismantle criminal cartels and disrupt the flow of drugs and illegal weapons. In a message on social media, Persad-Bissessar described the agreement as a historic step toward confronting narco-trafficking and restoring security in the region. Government officials say the partnership is also expected to strengthen intelligence sharing and regional cooperation against organized crime. The Chaguanas Chamber of Industry and Commerce says businesses have operated under the strain of organized crime and the state of emergency for too long. Chamber President Baldath Maharaj says the organization welcomes recent talks between Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and U.S. President Donald Trump during the Shield of the Americas summit in Florida. Maharaj says cooperation with the United States on intelligence sharing and security resources could help dismantle criminal networks and restore investor confidence. He says discussions around the proposed Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition represent a practical step toward improving national security and strengthening the business climate. Maharaj adds that stronger diplomatic ties with Washington could also create new trade, energy, and economic opportunities for Trinidad and Tobago. Questions and mixed reactions are emerging following Trinidad and Tobago's decision to join the proposed Americas Counter-Cartel Coalition. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar signed the agreement at the Shield of the Americas summit, hosted by U.S. President Donald Trump. Opposition Senator Amory Brown says, while security cooperation with the United States is important, government must convince citizens the initiative will produce real results. Former Minister Vasant Bharath questioned how the alliance will address Trinidad and Tobago's domestic crime challenges, warning the country could be joining a framework that may not match its security realities. However, Congress of the People leader Prakash Ramadar welcomed the move, saying deeper international cooperation is needed to tackle gun trafficking and organized crime. Talks have resumed between the government and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association over matters affecting police officers. Chief Personnel Officer Dr. Daryl Dindiel met Monday with the association's executive at the Personnel Department to continue discussions on salary negotiations for the 2020 to 2022 bargaining period. The association has not accepted the government's 5% salary offer made in April last year, but says it will submit a written response. Other issues raised during the meeting included the job evaluation exercise, the group health plan, pension reform, and matters concerning municipal police. Association President Ishmael Pitt says the body will consult with its executive and membership as discussions continue. In crime news, the family of Stacey Samaru, whose body was found floating in the sea in Tobago last week, is still awaiting an autopsy to determine how she died. Her mother says a forensic pathologist from Trinidad is expected to travel to Tobago to conduct the examination as police continue investigations. Meanwhile, police suspect foul play in the death of Homadath Supdio, whose body was discovered bound and gagged near Tiraco Beach on Sunday. Investigators believe the 44-year-old may have been strangled and that his body was dumped at the beach. Officers from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service are continuing inquiries as the country's murder toll stands at 65. Finally, in international news, U.S. President Donald Trump says the war with Iran could be over quickly as American and Israeli forces continue military operations. Speaking in Florida, Trump defended the strikes as a preemptive move, claiming Iran was preparing attacks across the Middle East and potentially against Israel. He said many of Iran's missile launch sites and drone facilities have already been destroyed, adding that the U.S. military is crushing the enemy. However, the administration has not presented firm public evidence to support claims that Iran was close to producing a nuclear weapon. Trump also said the United States has already achieved significant success, but remains determined to secure what he called ultimate victory.
And that is news at this time. Thank you for listening.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Scandal in Citrus is coming to San Fernando, and it is hilarious. Coming from sold-out houses in Port of Spain, this is the play that has audiences in stitches. 2 nights only at Naparima Bowl. Saturday the 14th of March at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 15th at 6:30 p.m. Box office at Naparima Bowl opens from Monday, March 9th, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. Tickets also available at K-Square Fashion C3 Center and Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. Tickets also available at Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout. Scandal in Citrus, the comedy event of the year.
Save more now at Furniture Plus. Get a pair of pillows for only $49, queen mattresses from $7.99, free gifts with select purchases, plus extra discounts on higher purchase plans. Hurry, visit any Furniture Plus showroom today.
Join me, Brother David Muhammad, every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio, Powerful Radio. Join me to hear knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Tuesdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
For God shall wipe away, yes, sir, every tear from their eye. Yes, sir. Get ready.
TNT, get ready for Kirk Franklin in concert. Prisoners No More. We meet at the Queen's Park Oval on March 21st for an unforgettable evening of revival and renewal with Kirk Franklin and his full band. And Trinbago's top gospel artists, Jaron Nurse, Gates Praise, Blessed Messenger, St. Anthony's Music Ministry, and Darren Sandy.
But there is no sunshine.
Early bird tickets are sold out. General, kids, VIP, group, and cabana tickets available at accesstix.com. Hacker restaurants nationwide, Maranatha bookstores, Living Water Community, Santa Rosa Bookshop, Arima, St. Anthony's, RC Church, Point Fortin, Sky 99.5 FM, CNC3, and the Big Board Company are the official media partners. Endorsed by Catholic TT and the Ministry of Culture and Community Development. Kirk Franklin is coming to TNT.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Okay, people, so we are back. Final hour of our show. Richard, a whole lot of things going on in the back.
Yeah. Richard, it is my understanding that sign is being illegally removed. But it is still against the law to make that drive by the opposite the fire station by Sackville Street there. It is still illegal. People are moving the signs, illegally removing the sign.
I don't know what Richard talking about when he says people taking a chance. If it's against the law, you're wrong.
But yes, but Sir Charles, you never take a chance.
And I'm wrong.
Well, all right, and we ain't saying you're not. We ain't saying you're not wrong, you know.
That's a condone lawlessness.
Some people don't.
Anyhow, before I get back into that, let me give a little piece of good news for Trinidad and Tobago. At the Winter Olympics, they said that the Trinidad and Tobago, that we had skiers at the Winter Olympics. Well, guess what?
We had a bobsled team. I didn't know.
Right. Well, for the first time, Nickel Alain and Emma Gadcliffe, they said that they just made history. They are the first alpine skiers ever to compete at the Winter Olympics for Trinidad and Tobago. And they carried our flag at Milano Cortina 2026. So congratulations to Team Trinidad and Tobago. And first time that we are there. And thank you very much, Ingrid, for sharing that information with us this morning. Congratulations. Yeah.
Winter Olympics got a lot of snow this year because everywhere have snow. I don't think New York have any snow still. I'm not sure about Canada. If Canada still has snow on the ground, But
by now, I think that I was hoping. CJ will let us know if they still have snow on the ground. I think that water probably must have gone by now.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we could take a couple more of your calls. A lot of people are up in arms about.
I thought both of you was going to talk well. Take some calls.
No, I was just watching some comments on the chat about Captain Garvin Heerah, from Dean Allen. I was just reading through some comments. They are vehemently opposed to any American base coming back in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, well, some people are opposed to anything that Americans have in the visa. So we're going back to the lines. We're taking your calls. 281-131-5299-5156. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Norfolk, Virginia, front and center. Hey, 2 quick points here. Your guest, he has some valid points, and with all due respect, he said that the current initiative by the U.S. government was just, paraphrasing here, right? Adding teeth to the Caribbean Basin Initiative. The Caribbean Basin Initiative was primarily, and it's just trade, and that is still something in effect that was initiated by the Reagan administration, the Caribbean Basin Initiative. This is all trade. This current policy has to deal more with Western Hemisphere regional and military and security issues. This is far different than the Caribbean Basin Initiative, and it's not even adding to that. It is definitely chalk and cheese, not related. So, just want to clarify that.
I don't totally agree with you there, Ron. I saw your comment on the chat, but I don't totally, because the U.S. interest ain't just about security here. It's about the resources.
No, I didn't say it was just. I didn't say that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I didn't say it's just that. But it's two different policies and two different programs. I'm going to trace of words. So, but when he said that it was the Caribbean Basin Initiative, given a lot more teeth or whatever, it's two entirely different policies. But as I brought up there, Wendell, you mentioning that the other day that Iraq was firing missiles at other countries who support or friendly to the USA. I will respectfully disagree with that, because just their actions indiscriminately, just shooting missiles left, right, and center to everybody out there in the Middle East, just shows you why they cannot be trusted to have an enhanced nuclear program for what they say for peaceful purposes. And let me add this too. When Ayatollah Khomeini, you all are old enough to remember, when he came off the airplane when he was in exile, and they asked him, how you feel about returning back to Iran? He said, well, do you have any feelings about this? And then he said, none. You know what he said his objective was? To address the West, right? To address capitalism, right? And to spread, his interpretation and their interpretation of what Islam is all about, right? So it just goes to show you, there's nothing wrong with the people of Iran, right? I have friendly with the Iranians. I work with Iranians, okay? And all I'm going to say, a little shout out to the women and the people of Iran. Hold on, people. Hold on a little longer. Very soon you'll be able to wear your lovely mini skirts that you did back in the 70s and the 60s. Listen to Aerosmith, Van Halen, soca, salsa. Very soon you'll be able to do that, you know.
All right.
Piercings. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Right? And did you all see the people in Iran?
Hold on 1 minute.
I have no problem with you advocating for the West and how they treat with Muslim states and so on. But don't insult them by saying women could soon wear the miniskirts. Don't do that. Okay.
Okay. If you find out it was disrespectful, all right, I stand corrected. I wouldn't say that, but you'll be able, women, to at least be treated as a first-class citizen like all the men in the country. You know who don't celebrate International Women's Day? Iran. Do you know that? And happy International Women's Day to all the women there in the world, you know, and in Trinidad. Yeah. So the thing about it is that these guys will come back, and I'll talk about those mullahs and the Khomeini and all of them, right? They living in the 21st century, and they want to go with 3rd century kind of thinking. Come on, man. It's, you know, time to join the rest of the sane world. You know?
All right. Okay, cool. No problem. Thanks very much, Virginia.
You know, you living in a country that still have a problem with people who have different sexual orientation, who black. You living in that country, you know. I don't know if you know that, you know. You living in a country with so much discrimination, and you want to talk about Iran and Iraq? My God.
Well, good morning to you.
Good morning, I'm a bit distant, right?
You need to speak up a little bit, caller.
Yeah, you gotta come to your phone. You're talking speakerphone.
Yeah.
You hear me better now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Nice. So I'm a bit disturbed. This whole issue, what they call the Shield of America, that we sign off to. I don't know. I heard a lot of the commentators saying that, well, we hope that no successful government or no successful business using our things will operate on hope. Everything has to be very strategic. It has to be a little transparent when it is communicating with the country. Up to now, none of us know what is in that agreement, what it entails. I don't even know the Prime Minister back in the country. If you follow what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think she's back.
And then this coalition now, how does it differ with the OAS, with CARICOM stance? How it is that we're moving forward? And setting up of a base in Trinidad. I don't know any American base at which they're spending millions of dollars that does not form part of the security apparatus. We cannot tell them what they're going to do with the base. And that is one of the reasons why it is. I figure that we are losing our identity. Eric Williams, when it is that we form that part of communication and collaboration with China, but getting pressure from the Americans, and he stands strong. Leadership now seems to be succumbing to this Donald Trump. And if you find out the narrative, if you follow the how things has evolved, everything stems from his wanting to have control. He's even threatened the president of Spain to tell him that when the Spain president told him that he cannot use his base, threatening to say that we don't need permission from Spain. What make us feel that we are different? Small dot. Right? Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Well, clearly we are avoiding the threats by just going along with everything the man say and want to do. We are avoiding the threats because he is threatened with visa restrictions on so many places, schooling in so many, so we are avoiding the threats. As I say, by the end of the day, it works out good for Trinidad and Tobago. Fine, but guess what? It might only work out good for Trinidad and Tobago while Trump is still there. He's not going to be there forever. You understand? And what's going to happen with us after?
And probably that's why the word hope is so strongly used or often used. Caller, good morning.
If Trump could get a third term, which is what I think he's banking on, well, then Obama could also get a third term, right? And they will quicker vote back Barack Obama than vote for Donald Trump.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Morning,
Captain.
I voted no this morning. And then after listening to that guy, if you recall, before Nelson Mandela had died, he did an interview with a ABC reporter called Mr. Ted Koppel. And you can go on YouTube and check it out. And there's a part where he had the whole auditorium going crazy when he said to Mr. Koppel, you don't understand why Americans expect their enemies to be my enemies. You see, that because these are signs of puppetry. She goes up and she's willing to sign over Trinidad to him. Mr. Trump cannot be trusted. A lot of people have trust issues with him. He's talking about narcotics and all this stuff. He's fooling certain people again. He just did it right there in Venezuela. Came down not too long ago. He talked about all kinds of drug things. Up to today, I wish somebody could show me any of the boats and the people that he has killed and the boats that he has blown up. No one has showed us any evidence of drugs was on the boats or anything like that. But yet they're coming into the narcotics, right? And everything that Trump says is golden truth. So we have puppetry. Again, and let me tell you something. If anybody know anything about America, when they go start a base somewhere, they don't want to leave. Right now, they can't even protect Saudi Arabia and all of them after all those billions of dollars that these countries have been paying them to support them to security. They can't even prevent Iran from blowing up the bases on their soil. Now we're bringing them back to Trinidad, and she's behaving like everything that comes out of Trump's mouth is gospel truth. But then again, maybe guys, we all might get a pen. Who knows? We'll probably get a pen.
All right.
We'll have a good one.
What I want to see coming out of this arrangement with America is when we reach the United States, when we reach immigration, we have a separate line for Trinidadians to speed through and get home, get where they're going. That's what I want. Or special kiosks set up. And I want when we reach the embassy that we pay like $10 because a visa for Japan is equivalent to like $15 TT. I want that to happen. Right? To go America, we get a visa that costing about $15 TT. That's what I want coming out of this. If we can't get this, that, and more children being allowed to go to school across there and further their education and all those opportunities that people are looking forward to with families in the United States, that's what I want to see coming out of it. I don't want to hear nothing about you promised to blow up more drug boats in the Caribbean. Because as Captain Ron just said, where the drugs? Where all of this hype the other day to go and remove Maduro? Where is it? What's the result of it? Nothing. I want to see the benefit. So if Mrs. Prasad Bissessa is listening this morning, ma'am, you understand? I met you in the back of Joy's roti shop some years ago.
But maybe I had to go back by Joy.
Huh?
You had to go back by Joy.
Yeah, I had to go back.
Yeah. Next time you had to find out when next time you and Miss Bissessa by Joy. Well, good morning.
Posing at Joy's too, you know. You know Joy's, you know.
Morning.
Morning,
Mr. Charles. Morning, Wendell, and morning, Richard Ragubasing. Good morning. You know, partner of mine went to the United States of America for some years back. And he ended up making a deal for 21 years in one of the most dread jail in America and was deported back to Trinidad. You know what was the charge? Or just a charge on him? Guilty by association. Whatever you're not charged?
Yes.
A lot of people feel is that you're charged guilty by association. No. I see the good Prime Minister went and signed things associate himself with certain people. But in my mind, I don't watch things different angle. Don't like somebody trying to deal with people who have oil. Guyana have oil. Trinidad have oil. Venezuela. Oh, yeah, what's the bigger picture? What's the bigger picture? And I am talking about a base in Trinidad and Tobago. And he's what? A criminal strategist and all kind of thing. Mr. Heerah. You don't realize that any war they have out in the Middle East, they will attack any American interest in any country in the world. So why you want to put a base here for this to come and attack Trinidad? We have an embassy already. And I hope they are security around them embassy here because these people will attack American interests anywhere they are. Wherever you have a child, we come in after your child. That's what I said. Oh, yeah, I go.
All right. I listened to the news last night, and the President of the United States is saying he will accept nothing else but a full and unconditional surrender from Iran. And he may want to decide who leads Iran after. I listen to this and I'm saying, but is that movie? I watch it. This can't be real. That the President of the United States, he wants a say in who leads Iran. I say, what the hell?
Isn't that something just like what he said when concerning Venezuela?
Yes, that's exactly what he said in Venezuela.
That's his style.
Yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Some I call earlier and talk about how Iran want to go back in the 21st century and but this mentality of America and them that carry back to Columbus times. This behavior right now, they're trying to dictate the world and tell everybody what to do and where everybody's a toe the line and all kind of thing. That ain't good. That you go way back. Imagine Columbus, that's how the European and them was operating. Come take your place, the way where one tire. And these were America, them coming back to the way. So I don't know how we suppose look the same point you know making the Chelsea. So he telling the Iranian people he don't like their leader and all. That Columbus, that outdated behavior. You were not supposed to be running like that. You understand? People, you're talking about freedom. But then people ain't free to make choices in their own land and all kind of thing. Iran never attacked America and these people and them. Iran was opposing Israel because of the behavior, how they were treating the Palestinians and them. And the West and them talking about freedom and how them so think. And the world sit down and allow the Israeli to be treating the Palestinian people. So Israel is hypocrisy in the world. And we as people who we talk freedom, we're supposed to call out them things. If you stand for freedom and for truth, you have to call out them things. You have to stand and call out them things. So I can see you talking about them going back Columbus time. We're going back to Columbus time here right now. With this behavior, chum. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much.
I mean, I don't know how people could be agreeing with anybody who trampling on people like that. I don't know how people, and they would say, well, yeah, but Iran was doing it to their own people and so on. Well, you know, they would pay a price someday, but you can't kill people because you assume they're killing people or you assume they're trampling on people's rights. What is that? Huh?
Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Mad, yes.
Caller, you there?
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to Wendell, Sachar, and Richard. I really don't like to get too much into politics, but my biggest concern is the aftermath of everything. I think that is something we need to take in consideration. However, there are some callers you all need to give them the TTT glitcher when they start going off rails. You don't know what happened. Oh, we just had a drop call there. But on a lighter note, I would like to say, Richard, I had an amazing time at your show. I went on the Saturday, which was the 7th. My birthday was on the 6th. And I went on the 7th. And I went by myself. I didn't want anyone with me. and I had a blast. So
You wanted nobody with you on your birthday, girl?
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what she just said in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what she just said.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't want no siblings. I didn't want my other half. I didn't want no friend. Just me, myself, and I.
Wow.
I laughed. I was like, oh my God. I came back home and all I'm only talking about is this Tina and Calvin. And my son was like, oh my God, Mommy. Every minute. So I was like, yes, sir. So, Richard, I'm waiting patiently for the other one. You all have a blessed morning.
Okay, no problem.
And we all have that pea dream, huh? I don't think anybody never had a pea dream. Everyone had a pea dream. And if you didn't have it, well, you might get one.
It's coming soon. Thank you very much, Kola.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Yeah. I like that Kola there. She said, on my birthday, I ain't want nobody. I want to be by myself. Yeah. Kola, good morning.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. How are you all good?
We are good.
We're good.
Yeah, man. Good to hear you all. Two things I want to raise. You know that more people say when a neighbor house on fire with yours, that is something I want the Prime Minister to understand what is happening presently right now. And another thing, I thought that was I alone. Lincoln brought up this morning about this battle this guy was having, a illegal battle, and I brought up this morning, and that came to my mind. And I was always wondering, is that part of the uniform or that is part of the kit, you know? And you know, a lot of things happening. We don't understand. A lot of things happening. This thing with this maxi taxi and thing, you know what I mean? It's happening so easy and so fast. And I think our leaders have to realize that a lot of things happening presently right now. Our President Trinidad and Tobago, things never used to happen like this in a vast time. Every day something new, you know, and something new drastically. This is why I use the rules when your neighbors on fire with yours, because it's happening in the world and look at which it's shaped by we know.
Yeah.
It's on here already, you know, there's a matter of things to happen. So fellas, have a blessed day, good work, bless you all, and take care of yourself, you know, be safe. Right? Take care, bye.
I think it's
two
happening.
things people need to do to distress themselves. There are only two things actually right now in the entire Trinidad and Tobago for people to distress themselves. Go and see Richard play, come down by Rumbox. You see, after them two things, trust me, all your stress gone. All your stress.
Kola, good morning.
Hi, morning, gentlemen. Charles, Richard Wendell.
Morning, Kola.
I think you've got the situation spot on. I listened to Garvin Heerah this morning. What I want to know is, would the Prime Minister come back to Trinidad and Tobago, hold a press conference, explain everything to the population so that we would be fully aware of what commitment she has made for Trinidad and Tobago. Setting up bases and all these things here. Let's say before the 5 years or when the 5 years is up, the government change. What you want to tell me is the incoming government, if their ideology is not in sync with the UN, and goes again or ask America to remove the base, so wouldn't that be putting the current government or the incoming government at odds with America?
But that is why you have governments, Scholar. That's why you have governments. Remember, if you just go back to the SOFA arrangement, that was made under a previous government, you know, and it's extended now. If they wanted to probably get out of that, I don't know how they would do that.
Yeah, but you're supposed to put certain things in place and things to detail from that, and then because you can't be committing somebody else to something that you find favor with. That would be sort of unfair.
Yeah, but I don't think it's.
Also, I can't understand how one man would be able. They say if you set out deliberately to kill someone, it is considered murder. You want to tell me a president telling you, listen, I am going to get rid of these people and things by any means necessary, and nobody's holding them accountable. something had to be wrong with how we look at things or life on the whole.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much, Kola.
History is not going to be kind to people like that. I'm sorry. History is not going to be kind to people like that. You know, they may live long, but they'll probably live long suffering. You know?
Ms. Sampson, good morning. You'll be our final caller this morning.
Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Wendell.
Good morning,
Wendell.
Hi.
I'm not seeing much of the PNM. I mean, they go fall back in their old ways, not getting in touch with people. You can't get a phone call. No, I mean, you can't wait till election coming up, then to pound the pavement. A representative or councillor or what they call themselves supposed to know it's 365 days in the year. They're supposed to know how many babies on a street, how many elderly, instead of just sitting in an office and collecting pay. A lot of people collecting salary and they're not working. I am fed up. I am already fed up with what I feel to do, I will do. And I am the Ayatollah. It's 5 years they had to go through this. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up. They're falling back in their old ways, not getting in touch with people. You can't get in touch with them. Look, when Miss Penelope was in the housing office, I had some information that will help her because she's not living down south. 6 months and I ain't get a call. When Dr. Rowley sit in office, I sent a registered mail. I still have the receipt. 9 and how much years, I ain't get a phone call. How do they expect it to stay in office? All know so they're supposed to be pounding the pavement. People supposed to be seeing them whether they get money from Camilla or not. Come on the street, come with a bucket of cement, patch a hole, do something. You're not seeing nobody. When you're waiting to come by my gap and next 5 years for me to tell them to say something, 30 years I waiting on a turning point. Wendell, you know about the 9 years I wait for wandering. I am living 5 minutes from City Hall. 9 years, Wendell, you could remember. I remember. Wandering. Wake up here and then wake up. There's not much more people could do with this nonsense that's going on. And I don't know how much SRE they'll put in place to muzzle people. You all have I have already have enough. I doesn't be bothering about my problem, you know. I just be on the country problem and the city problem. And if nothing looking nice and Fernando not looking good at all, nothing doing at all, the waterfront just stop. Spanish squatting on it. Listen, man. I don't know what to say. Like I had to get a passport for Burkina Faso. Please, you all have a good day.
All right. You know, there was a time I told people there was a time I was a representative of the PNM, an elected representative. I was a councillor for 14 years. I was an alderman for 6 years. So I had authority to speak on certain issues. I was a member of the General Council. I was a member of Central Executive. I was also a member of the legislative group. And I was, of course, a member of a chairman of a constituency. As it stands now, I hold absolutely no position in the PNM. Absolutely none. And it's been so for a few years, right? Absolutely none. Even though people still come to me and ask me this, or like Ms. Sampson asked me to speak on behalf of the PNM. I cannot. The other day, I decided, I was approached by a friend of mine who knows my competence. She is now a government minister, Khadija Amin, to assist her with a particular project for the carnival period. My name and face went all over Facebook. You understand? All over. Of course, Khadija didn't take it on. I didn't take it on. But a particular person called me and said, oh, I should have let them know. I said, no, I have absolutely no obligation to let people know what I do with my private life and what I do for anybody. Absolutely none. Especially when it involves politics. Because I am not a member of the UNC. I'm still a member of the PNM, but I have hold absolutely no position. So I'm not obligated to tell anybody what I do. Just so, and that was the end of the conversation. I say next question. Don't get
And especially when they have no use for your competencies.
None.
You understand? So what they calling you for? You understand? Anyhow, hold 1 minute there, guys. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, morning. Hi, morning. Morning, Sir Charles.
You see, I hold out this call for you.
Who's that? Be Bretta Fresh here.
Morning, Mrs. R.
Morning, my love. I just want to hear your voice because I was just hearing this one ranting and raving. I have no obligation to, and I want to know, yes, you have obligation to all of us here. So I'm here. Wait to say doing friend enough with you, but that other side.
I have no obligation to all you either. You know, I tell the first person who know what I was doing was this radio station. I said it since in January. But black people didn't take it serious.
They missed it.
Take me on.
Well, we ain't on that side, so no side you're on. Lawyers.
I on Khadija's side, as long as she benefiting, helping out local government and making it better, trust me, I'll be on her side.
Papa, yo. Well, that's my classmate anyhow from St. George's College, so pleasant good morning, Khadija. Anyhow, so. But I just really want to say good morning to everyone and belated greetings publicly again, Tina. You are a beautiful person. I wish you blessings all years to come, continued health and strength, and PJ, who is a breath of fresh air as well. She's so sweet. Good morning, PJ. Morning, Carol. Morning, Wendy. Morning, Rena. All the powder puff ladies who assembled by Wendell a while back, just hugs and kisses, Rena, we miss you. And yeah, everyone just have a great day. And my breath of fresh air, love you so much. And
love you too, darling. Love you.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Mrs. R. He just needs some love in his life, so he got wherever he can get it.
You're right. You see, Richard gonna make a next play about me again.
Mm-hmm. Oh my word! And I will definitely see you. When you come up on the side here, because Central Bank, if I Saturday go to catch my skin to pass through opposite Central Bank with cars, I say, we papa look a rich place there, that kind of pass through properly on the streets there. Cars on either side, all how diagonal front back, all how they park. I say, I shall call record how they see when they park up any bad way there. But
all right, Mrs. R, have a great day.
All right, hon, so I'll see Richard when I assume in the other avenue, the other venue too. So hugs and kisses. Bye.
Bye.
As I tell people, you want to distress, come Rumbox and go and see Richard play. As a matter of fact, you could come Rumbox, then go and see Richard play.
Yeah, so you're real chat.
Same day, you can do both of them.
You're giving me a rowdy over there.
More rowdy than the ones that came the other day. Oh God, let me even make noise.
Oh God. Yeah, so of course, Cartel Seekers is on this weekend. San Fernando, we are finally there at Naprima Bowl. We haven't been there in a little while. So it's great to be back in Naprima Bowl, the home of theater in San Fernando. So we are looking forward to it. Of course, we always love coming down south. So we'll be there this weekend, Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30. Of course, tickets available at the Naprima Bowl box office from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, endless tickets were sold there yesterday. I kid you not. I tell you, tickets are selling in droves at the Naprima Bowl. Get your tickets early, trust me. Tickets are also on sale at K-Squared Fashions in C3 Center and K-Squared Fashions in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, as well as Friends of Marabella by the roundabout. You can get tickets there too. All outlets are selling tickets, and they have been selling tickets since the weekend because people knew we were coming to South. So looking forward to that. Of course, remember that New Era TT Radio continues on newerattradio.com and New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. Excellent programming throughout the day.
Yeah. All right, and don't forget to drop the tickets by Pranos, eh?
Paloma.
Pranos by Cedros. All right.
Paloma and Pran. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day.
If I didn't know anybody in Cedros, I know no Pranos.
Prano, yeah. I must take a drive down Cedros and Tune. Long time. A long time I haven't been deep south.
All right, guys, it's almost 9 o'clock. What? All the do well today.
Yep, and remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Have a fantastic day. Be stressed this weekend in our Prima Bowl. You've been listening to
The Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes